I'd like to thank everybody for joining me today. Today, I want to talk about doing life insurance policy audits. What's interesting as I look at the whole financial industry, if with clients, they're used to reviewing their taxes every year, preparing for their tax returns, doing tax planning. If they have an investment account, clients are reviewing their statements, updating their investment portfolio, making changes as needed. However, when it comes to life insurance, most of our clients and honestly, most of the advisors are one and done. I bought the life insurance, I put it in the drawer, never to be seen again until somebody passes away and you open up the drawer and blow the dust off and hope it works. So as you start thinking about life insurance, we need to start, putting it into our clients' minds that we need to review this just like everything else on a regular basis. And I like reviewing it with clients at least on an annual basis to make sure it's up to date and doing what we want it to do. If you start looking at life insurance and what the goals of life insurance really encompass, we know that most people look at life insurance and they need a death benefit. And think about, what is that death benefit for? Is it for to pass on wealth? Is it to protect a surviving spouse or surviving heirs, to protect the business? Whatever that death benefit need is the policy set up for that? Is the policy achieving that goal? We know now we can add long-term care riders, chronic illness riders. Do our clients have a need or a concern that they want to make sure that life insurance or that long-term care need is being satisfied? There again, we can do that with the life insurance policy. And finally, with the life insurance, is cash value one of the goals or objectives of this policy? As you start looking at this, life insurance is a Swiss Army knife. It's a tool that we can manipulate and design to accomplish any one of these three. But a lot of times, if you think with our clients, they want all three. They want the death benefit, they want the cash value growth, and once they understand that they can have a chronic illness or a long-term care rider, they want that as well. So as you start looking at how to design the life insurance policy, we need to understand what these goals are. And we also need to understand, as we're doing these reviews, the goals for our clients are going to change. As their life changes, and all of those issues, we want to make sure that we keep this policy up to date. So when I look at policy reviews, step one, we've got to gather the information. Go get the existing statements. If we need to, let's get in force illustrations. Let's find out how this policy that they've already purchased, how is it operating? What is it doing for the client? After we get the raw data, now we can talk to our client. What are their goals and circumstances now? Not when they bought the policy. What is it now? And how has that changed? Is there a marriage, a divorce, a birth of a child, a grandchild, a death of a loved one, change in the business? All of these life-changing events are going to change the goals of this policy. And we've got to understand where our client is today, and then we can start talking about how can this policy be designed for today going forward. So many times, I think a lot of these purchases are made and one and done. I don't want to think about it again. However, I think given the opportunity, clients will, jump on the idea of, yes, let's do an annual review. Let's make sure we're addressing all these changes in circumstances. Once we get the result, now we understand where the policy is today. We understand where our clients' goals and objectives are today in their current circumstances. Now we can start looking at what are the results with this policy. Number one, keep the current policy. Pat them on the back, tell them they've done a good job, and keep what they have. If circumstances have changed where we need maybe more death benefit, less death benefit, there again, it's making sure we cover the needs. the current needs and going forward. Not historically, what did they do before? That's done and past. Now we're looking forward with our client to make sure we have all of these things. Now, a lot of times our clients can adjust the premium. Well, depending on their circumstances, they're better, their career is further along. They've done great on their investments. Maybe they can increase the premium to get more benefit. There again, maybe it's, they're going into retirement and need, to reduce their expenses so we have less premium. As we're adjusting this policy on a go forward basis, let's make sure the premium matches what they're going to need. Now, with the new additions of living benefits, long-term care riders, chronic illness riders, a lot of the old policies didn't have those opportunities, didn't have the ability to have a long-term care rider or a chronic illness rider. There again, can we add benefits that are going to help our client meet their goals, now and into the future? Finally, if they just don't need the policy, let's look at a life settlement or a surrender of that policy. Now, when I first got in, was in the industry, life settlement was some shady transaction in the back alley. Now there are states like Washington that require you to talk to your client about a life settlement anytime they're going to surrender a policy. And I look at life settlement of giving the client the option. Well, if you surrender the policy, you're going to, the company's going to give you X. If you do a life settlement on that policy, and it's more than X, maybe the life settlement's the right thing for the client to do. There again, give them the option. Give them the option of can they improve their circumstances? A lot of this, if you think about policy review, it's like getting a new cell phone. New cell phones come out, our old ones, not doing the job anymore. We upgrade. If you own a home and mortgage interests go down, you refinance the mortgage. Now with life insurance, we're just making sure that if we can improve your situation, let's review it and see what we can do to make sure we stay one step ahead. There again, existing policy options, think about, just think as you step through this. If it's meeting the goals and objectives, the current goals and objectives, not when it was bought, the goals and objectives today, if it's meeting the goals and objectives, keep the policy. If it's not meeting the current, if we're not meeting current and future goals and objectives, let's look at, how do we do this? How do we upgrade this policy? Just like we'd upgrade our cell phone plan or redo our mortgage. Well, if it's a term policy, can we convert the term policy? If it's not in a convertibility period, maybe we get a new term policy. 1035s, we can do tax-free exchange into a new life insurance policy. We can do a tax-free exchange into an annuity. We can also do a tax-free exchange into a long-term care policy. So with our new hybrid long-term care policies, hey, if we've got existing life insurance policies that we don't need, let's 1035 use that cash value in that unused or unnecessary policy and put it into a hybrid long-term care policy, either annuity based or life insurance based, so that we can solve that need for the client. As you start looking at this, and I like looking at planning for a client as completing the puzzle for them. Well, first of all, we've got to understand what puzzle pieces our clients are dealing with. Do they have retirement needs? Do they have family needs, long-term care needs, business needs, charitable planning, estate planning? All of these puzzle pieces, once we understand those puzzle pieces for our client, we want to help them put those puzzle pieces together the right way. What you're going to find is life insurance is that piece in a lot of cases that's missing. It's that piece that completes the puzzle for our clients' planning objectives. So as you build this puzzle for the client, look at their current policies, see if they're doing what they need to do. If not, let's take the time to improve them and complete the puzzle for our client. Appreciate everybody getting on. If you ever have questions, feel free to reach out, and we'll talk again next week. Thank you.